Good morning, good afternoon. Thank you for joining me live. Quite a lot of people in the chat that I see every day. So thanks, guys, for joining yet again. And happy Tuesday, the 5th of December. I can't believe we are now 20 days away from the big day. I have not yet even started doing my Christmas shopping, which is great. But, I will do it at some point, maybe on the 24th. Anyway, we're here to talk about Palantir today, not about my Christmas shopping habits. So, of course, Palantir yesterday, what a day. Down by 9.23% in a single day. And actually, pre-market looks like we're going to see a few more falls over the course of today. Pre-market $18.16, which is down by another 1.3%. Who knows? We're just going to have to wait and see when the stock market opens, whether Palantir will sort of trade sideways, will it go up, a reversal, or will we see it continue to fall? Let me know in the live chat what you think is going to happen with Palantir stock today. But I just wanted to use this live stream as a way to maybe try and help people calm down, help people not panic about the fall that we saw yesterday, and maybe explain some reasons as to why we actually saw Palantir go down by nearly 10% in a given day. Because obviously Palantir is quite it's a volatile stock, it's a growth stock. And we see with stocks like Palantir, like Tesla, like some other tech companies, they do move quickly in either direction. But it is still pretty uncommon to see such a big fall in one given day. So we have to ask ourselves why. But we can see if we go to Nvidia, we go to Microsoft, you can look at others. There did seem to be a general fall across the tech sector yesterday. However, you can see here, Microsoft fell not by that much. Nvidia fell not by that much compared to what we saw with Palantir, who really did fall quite significantly on the day. Now, I do question whether people purchased yesterday or not. So again, let me know in the live chat or in the comments if you're watching this after it's gone live. Did you use the dip that we saw yesterday to purchase more Palantir shares? Or maybe you've got enough now that you don't want to add more to your portfolio. Maybe you're already feeling overexposed to this company. Maybe you're waiting for it to fall even further, if you think that's going to happen. I've seen some people over on X anticipate that actually it will continue falling and it might hit the $15 range. I'm not, as I said before, I'm not really into this, the technical analysis. I don't really know an awful lot about it. I don't really feel comfortable putting my investment decisions on that. So like I've always said, I continue to dollar cost averaging. And if there is a dip and I'm not feeling overexposed, I will use my cash reserves to buy more on that dip. So let's talk about why we saw this fall yesterday. I think a lot of people are freaking out. Now, obviously, when we see a stock fall in a given day, there can be many factors impacting that. And depending on what's happening with the company or how much it's gone down by, can sort of indicate as to what's actually happened. Now, if you're a long-term investor, I don't think it matters too much to keep an eye on the day-to-day movements of a stock. However, when you're a bit obsessed with investing and with a particular stock, you probably will end up looking anyway. So I do think it's important, even if you are a long-term investor, to actually understand what moves a stock, what moves the market, even if you are not trading. Because that knowledge can give you an insight into what's happening, and that knowledge can help you actually remain calm and see opportunity when maybe other people are freaking out, which from what I can see, quite a number of people did freak out yesterday because they weren't expecting that sort of a dip on a given day. So when we're thinking about what moves a stock, we can think about maybe disappointing earnings or disappointing guidance that's come out on the position. Obviously, we have not just had a Palantir's earnings call, so that's not going to be the case here. You can also just have negative news and negative events that happen with any sort of polarizing company. And we see this a lot with Tesla in particular. If negative news comes out about the CEO, about the company, about anything related, about the sector, it can have a knock-on effect. just general macroeconomic changes in interest rates and things like that, again, can cause a knock-on effect. I don't think that's necessarily what's happening here. We can have sector-specific falls, and we did kind of see that yesterday with the tech sector. And then we can have a lot of short selling. And with a very traded company, you can definitely see that. But in terms of Palantir, now, when it went down by nearly 10% on a given day, that is unlikely to be caused, in my opinion, by just one single factor and just retail investors. So we did have a negative report that came out, and let me actually share this with you. Let me share my screen. I've got it open here. We'll have a look at what this analyst actually said. So there is an analyst called Louis. He works for William Blair, and he is very known in the Palantir community for being very bearish on Palantir. He's covered this stock for quite a number of years, from what I understand, and many, many times in the past, he has given bearish commentary, downgrades, and low price targets for Palantir. So he basically came out and said that, well, let's read it and then I'll explain. So it says here, a bearish analyst on Palantir stock raising questions over an army contract renewal. William Blair analyst who rates Palantir stock underperform published a note on Friday speculating the future of a 4-year, $458 million army contract, which is set to expire. Citing a US Army presentation last week, he wrote that there is a strong indication that Palantir's renewal contract in 2 weeks will be significantly less than the original amount. He said that the Army might offer a new 2-year renewal for $116 million, with Palantir's revenue reduced by additional vendors sharing the deal. He then also speculated that data ownership could be an issue between the Army and Palantir. So I don't know if it's him directly that went to this presentation or he has sources that has insight, but he was basically saying that there seems to be a bit of a thought of the US Army that they want to go for more open sourcing, and they want to maybe look for other vendors rather than Palantir. We're going to have to wait and see what happens with that one. I don't know. Again, I don't know how truthful this is. It is at the moment just speculation, and the words being used are very much speculation. Strong indication. We don't know for sure. Maybe what we'll see is Palantir not getting the whole renewal themselves, but actually alongside other vendors, which may reduce the revenue. We just don't know right now what's going to happen with that one. But like I've said, there has been many, many times in the past that this particular analyst has speculated and spoken about Palantir's government contracts in a very bearish way. All of those times have then worked in Palantir's favor and not in this analyst's favor. So we don't know, but we're just going to have to wait and see. However, having said that, does an article like this come out and cause a 10% dip? I don't think so. I don't think that we can say that a 10% dip on one day is because of one analyst downgrading Palantir and then retail investors freaking out and just selling out of that position. I don't think that's the case. Now, I do think absolutely that some retail investors, probably not the people watching this video or watching this live, because you're probably very interested in Palantir. That's why you're watching this video and that's why you researched the company. But other people may see this headline, may read the article and actually panic and decide to sell out of their position. Even if a number of retail investors do that, it's still unlikely to move the stock down by that much in a given day. So then we have to ask ourselves, well, what else has been going on here? We've also had we spoke about this yesterday on the live, but we've also had the news that Palantir are not being included in the S&P 500 this time around. Doesn't mean they're not going to be. They're still eligible, but they just haven't been picked as one of the companies to be added in the rebalancing season, if you will, this time. So we're going to have to wait until next year now. What happens, just as an overview, if multiple companies are eligible for the S&P 500 inclusion and there's not room to add all of those companies, it goes to a selection committee, as far as I understand. And those committee members decide, and they're specialists, obviously, they're not just random people off the street. They decide which companies are being added. Palantir didn't get picked this time. Uber did. We saw what happened to Uber's stock price after it got added, and that was announced. But yeah, it's not a matter of if, it's more just when, and we are now anticipating maybe the early start of next year. So again, another wait and see. However, lots of people, I think, were adding Palantir to their portfolio in anticipation for that S&P 500 inclusion, because often, not always, often, when a company gets added to an index like the S&P, it can have a big push in the upwards direction of the stock. So maybe some trading was happening. Maybe people were just anticipating this and purchasing more shares. Then we learned that that wasn't happening. Maybe again, retail investors decided, do you know what? I'm not waiting any longer. I'm going to sell out of this position. I now have a weak conviction for this company. I don't know. Again, though, I don't think that's the reason. I think it's a factor, and I think all these things are playing into drawing the stock down a little bit further, but 10% indicates that there's more money involved here. We've also seen that Bitcoin. I don't know if we've got any crypto investors in the live stream or watching this video. I personally do have a crypto portfolio. I don't talk about it. I only talk about it on Patreon, really. I don't talk about it on this YouTube channel, but we saw Bitcoin reach 52-week highs. Now, there is potential that people are actually moving out of equity and out of their stocks, selling out of those positions and moving their money into Bitcoin, ready for anticipated further rally. Maybe as well, large institutions are doing this. Don't know. Insider selling. This has been a big topic in Palantir recently. We have seen many board members selling vast amounts of Palantir shares. When I say vast amounts, I mean a number of shares that are significant. That doesn't mean that it's all of their portfolio. It could just be 2% of their overall Palantir shares, but it's still a significant amount. And when a lot of people do that in one go, demand, supply, it has a knock-on effect. Why are they selling? Well, I think it's very simple. I think they are taking profit off the table. And maybe, as far as I understand, it's the end of the US tax year. The UK tax year works a bit differently. We end ours in April, but it's the end of the US tax year. So there's tax implications there as well. Maybe, like I was saying, the whole tech sector dropped a little bit. And we know that the tech sector in general has had a phenomenal year. The returns on Palantir, on Nvidia, on other tech stocks have been phenomenal, absolutely incredible. And there is no way that a stock continues to rise indefinitely. Not a chance. So I think what's happening is the insiders, the Palantir board members, and retail investors and institutions, which is where the mega money is, are all thinking, hang on a minute, we have had a crazy return. Let's take this money off the table because it doesn't just carry on going up. We don't want to just keep trying to time it. Take money off, as the tax year ends. So tax implications are important here. Take money off, and actually we'll just wait to re-enter. Large institutions may be taking money off to make their funds look better, to pass that profit on to their customers, take money off the table, and then wait until it dips in the new year. Of course, that has its own problems, because what if it doesn't? Could continue going up and it could never reach $15 again. Could also reach $15 today. Like there is just no knowing. But I think that's what was happening yesterday. Big institutions selling a lot of shares. Don't think it's concerning, but it could absolutely be happening. And then, of course, we've just got the general things that have been happening in Palantir. We've had the two interviews from Alex Cott, CEO and CTO, that have happened. One at the Reagan National Defense Forum, and the CTO of Palantir. Phenomenal interview on CNBC. I covered that on the channel yesterday, so watch that if you haven't. But, a lot of what they were speaking about was very angled towards the defense sector of Palantir. And of course, when you start talking about how Palantir can be used on the battlefield and Palantir's support towards different countries in conflict, maybe that doesn't sit right with some people. Maybe some institutions sell out, maybe some retail investors sell out. But honestly, I think the most important thing here is, what does this mean for us? What does it mean? Are we concerned? I'm not concerned by this. I'm not concerned because I'm just focusing on what the company, what Palantir is doing. And they're doing great things right now, in my opinion. Every day something comes out, or I do further research into what they do and how they do it, that builds my conviction. And yesterday was no different. You know, if I separate what was happening with the stock yesterday, that was going down, but my conviction was going up. So I absolutely am not concerned about this. And if anything, I will just use it as an opportunity to buy more shares. So that's my thoughts. I don't know if you agree with me, disagree with me, you think there's something else going on that I've completely missed. Are you concerned? Did you buy more yesterday? Let me know. I'm going to jump over to the comments now and see what you guys are saying about this. Let's have a look who we have got on the live stream today. Thank God the lights aren't blinking anymore. Yeah, sorry, I don't know. I had to change something to do with a camera frame rate, I think. I'm not very good with cameras. It's not actually moving in real life at all. I've set the lights on still, so God knows what was happening yesterday, but I'm glad it is better and no one is having any seizures. Thank you for joining, guys. So did anyone buy Palantir yesterday? Not me. Do most people have their Palantir in a retirement account or a brokerage account or both? I mean, people from the US, I guess, can answer this one. I have my Palantir shares in something called an individual savings account, which is a tax efficient account here in the UK. So we don't get taxed on our capital gains or dividends within that account up to a certain limit. That's where I hold mine, just because it makes the most sense. Purchased Palantir and Canadian Pacific, Kansas. They've changed their ticker, haven't they? Canadian Pacific, basically. They went under a merge, had a merger. Nice, nice, nice. I got 776 shares yesterday at $18.70, and then it continued to drop. We've all been there. We've all done that, but it's a difficult game to play because if if it's dropped already to 18.70 and that was a significant drop and you were kind of waiting for that to happen and then you added shares, it probably is going to drop further. It's just the way it works. But if you didn't add them shares, I bet it would have done the other way and it would have gone up and then you would have missed your opportunity. So I think it's best, if you know you're going to buy at a discount, just do it. Cut your losses, maybe even put in an order so you don't actually have to worry about waiting and then clicking the button and panicking that way. But you still got more Palantir shares and we're still in very early days. I'm buying 500 shares if it drops below $18 today. Do we think it could drop below $18 a day today? At the moment, it's looking possible. Pre-market right now is $18.20. Who knows? Who knows what will happen? Good morning to you in California. Lots of people seem to have been purchasing yesterday. Yep, you're absolutely right. A lot of sellout over the tech stock in general yesterday. I think maybe people were taking profit off the table. I did read an article as well that the gains are now circulating from the tech stock into like consumer staples and things like that. Hi, Sir Lallington. Thank you for being here. A very valued Discord Patreon member. And I appreciate you saying that this is an informative channel. Overreaction from the S&P 500 and profit taken most likely. Yeah, I think the S&P 500 not happening definitely rattled some some people up. I think that it's probably more on the retail side. I think profit being taken may be more applicable to both retail and institutions. But it's interesting to understand why, but it doesn't change what I'm doing. All it does is give me an opportunity to buy more if that's my investing strategy and my investing plan. Can anyone translate from Germany? When this video goes live, uploads as a normal video, you will be able to auto translate. Yeah, Sir Lallington has said there. But in live time, I don't think that's a function YouTube has, unfortunately. Lump sum investors may well sell to protect capital and buy back in at a cheaper price. John, have you been doing that? Yeah, I think that when it comes to people being long-term investors, there can be a lot of, or just investors in general, there can be a lot of stick given towards people taking profit off the table. Like, oh, if you're selling some and you're taking profit, you're not a long-term investor. You're only in this for trading. You're only in this for the day gains. I don't think that's the case. Look, people have livelihoods. People have goals. People have investing plans. And they want to get to a certain place in a certain amount of time. And sometimes taking profit off the table, putting it elsewhere, makes absolute sense. If I was trying to live on my gains from my portfolio, or I was nearing maybe becoming financially free or whatever reason, I would be taking gains right now as well. I've said time and time again, if I were to sell some of my Palantir positions right now, after the year it's had, I'd make significant money on it, significant for me, but I wouldn't have anywhere to actually spend that money. It would literally go to paying my bills, which I don't need it to go to, or it would go to just sitting there in cash, losing money because of inflation. And I'll just have to sit on it until I put it back into Palantir. So I don't know. It doesn't make sense for me at the moment. Guys, we need to talk about Palantir, PayPal. Who invests into PayPal that is currently watching this video or this live stream? The reason that I ask is because in my Discord server yesterday, I shared an image that basically showed how popular PayPal was around the world. And it really surprised me. In a lot of places, it is the most popular method. And I didn't think that it was, honestly. I use PayPal, but rarely. It's not my go-to. It's very simple. It's very easy. I like it. It's not my go-to. And then we had a new member join on the Discord last night. So thank you if you're watching this. And they do invest in PayPal. And it made me think, because it's dropped so much from its all-time high. And I know it's got a new CEO in place that joined in September. They're changing things up. But there is a lot of competition, you could argue. But I don't know. Is there an opportunity there? Maybe. I need to look into it a little bit more. I mean, you've said you're going to sell PayPal, but it just triggered a thought. People have been buying. Colin UK, thank you for joining the live. Might buy some more today, see how it goes. It sounds like most people that are in here decide day to day, depending on what the stock is doing. Who here puts in a buy order that happens like every week, every 2 weeks, every month, and doesn't really ever look at the stock price? I wish that was me, but it's just not. I can't lie to myself. I bought 13 more shares, 200 so far. I'm going to keep buying. Incredible. Well done. Keep building your conviction. Constantly question yourself as to what is good about the company, what isn't good about the company. Don't just FOMO in, which I'm sure you're not. But 200, incredible. 200, amazing. Keep going. I will buy when it drops below 17. Yeah, a lot of people seem to have these price targets in place that are sort of their point to enter. John and whoever else has like, I will buy when. Have you already got this position in your portfolio, or is this going to be your first time adding it and you're waiting for an entry point that feels more reasonable? maybe. Midwest, absolutely no worries. Thank you for coming, and thank you for coming pretty much every day. Appreciate that. I'm getting used to who comes each day because I'm recognizing the names, and I'm still getting used to, I'm definitely still getting used to doing the live streams. I'm getting there though, and I hope you guys like them. I enjoy them. You just made my day, Susan. Thank you. I really appreciate that, because there is a lot of people, especially in the Tesla world, massive creators covering Tesla, ones that I look up to, ones that I really enjoy. Same with Palantir, great community. And if I can even add to the value of those communities 1%, I'm happy. So I appreciate that. Thank you. Can you link your second channel in the show note? Yeah, I'll put a link to it in this chat. Let me just get it up. For those of you who have no idea about my second channel, I'm basically starting a second channel as a place that I can talk about other stocks outside of Tesla and Palantir. The point in the channel is not going to be to share positions that I'm bullish and convicted on. It's going to be a place that you can go to if you want an overview on this stock, this stock, this stock. 6 to 10 minute videos, maybe twice a week, just covering exactly what you need to know as an investor to then think, you know what, this stock is really interesting. I'm going to go away. I'm going to do my own research, and then I might invest. That's the idea of it. I have not yet posted on this channel because I'm preparing for it. You know, thinking about what stocks I want to talk about and so on. But this is the channel if anyone does want to subscribe. A video will be coming very soon. It's called Stock Speak. And yeah, we're going to start posting on that soon. I hope you enjoy when I do. If you want me to cover any particular stocks, do let me know, and I'll add them to my list of stocks to research. 39 subscribers on it already. That's fun. My price target is $15, though I think it might go lower. Yeah, it might go lower. It absolutely might. We don't know. That's the thing. This company the stock price of this company was $6 not that long ago. And now we're hovering around the $20 range. Maybe it will not be that by the end of today. Who knows? So we don't know what's going to happen. I think a lot of companies, Palantir included, have had such crazy runs this year. The returns have been insane, and we have to ask ourselves, is that going to happen indefinitely? No, it's not. We don't know when it's not going to happen. Like, we don't know when it's going to stop going up, but no stock has ever in the history of ever gone up continuously without a pullback or without falling. Doesn't happen like that. So, you know, when that's going to happen, I don't know. It could be that it pulls back to $15 in the next week. It might be next year. We really don't know. That's why I'm just dollar cost averaging in and then adding more if I do see a dip. Thank you. I am not very good with compliments, but I appreciate it. Viewers from Australia. That's really cool. I always love that. Why don't you put a poll up? I think this was maybe about the PayPal question that I had, and I'll do that. That's a great idea. I'll put a poll up on the YouTube channel after this live. When is Palantir going to use the 1 billion to buy stocks? What are they waiting for? So Palantir announced a $1 billion buyback scheme. That scheme is flexible. It has no end dates. It has no restrictions surrounding how many shares they need to buy, when they need to buy, if they even need to buy. The holdup is probably that they just don't want to buy them yet. They don't want to start this scheme yet. Maybe they're waiting for market opportunity. There is no restrictions. They may never do this. We don't know. So I don't have the inside information as to why they're waiting, but I do know that they don't have to initiate this. Absolutely. Midwest is a legend, as are all of you that come to these lives. I don't have Palantir. I sold out at $20, but I plan to buy in again at $16. Yep, taking profit off the table makes sense. $20, nice price to be buying considering how much we saw it drop yesterday, and maybe today we'll see it drop more. Don't know. We'll have to see. But makes sense. My concern would be, what if it doesn't go back to 16? And looking at it now, it absolutely may, and it probably will. Like, we need to see Palantir grow into the stock price that it's been given. We need to see those revenues increase. We need to see growth. We need to see evidence of it being valued at the price it's being valued at. And, you know, I guess if we were only looking at fundamentals, it probably wouldn't seem like it should be trading at around the $20 mark. However, if you are trying to get in early and you are trying to make the most of an opportunity before other people have woken up to it, you kind of need to buy the story and the potential road that a company is taking, like people did with Tesla back in whatever date. They saw the potential of this company. They saw all of the catalysts that were aligned, all of the things that the company were, you know, putting down as a foundation, and they absolutely believed that it could go where it's gone. Those investors that did so much research and understood what they were doing when everyone else didn't were the ones that saw the big benefit of doing so. I think it's the same with Palantir. It's early days. We are all very much researching and learning what this company is and what it's going to do and how it can change different industries. That's why we're buying. So when people are saying, you know, the PE ratio, this and that, it's like, yes, we know these things exist for the company. And maybe if you were an analyst on Wall Street and you were just looking at those numbers, you may not purchase Palantir right now. But if you are a retail investor looking to maybe, you know, take the most out of this opportunity and you see potential, which again, we don't know, we've got a basis on our own research, you may decide to keep buying right now. Again, I've gone off of a bit of a tangent there, Dominic, but it makes sense what you're doing, absolutely. Greetings from France. I'm loading at 17. Could happen today. Let's have a look pre-market quickly. Okay, pre-market has now gone to $18.29. So we'll have to see. I like looking at the pre-market price, but ultimately we'll just have to wait until it comes online. Where are you from, Hayley? I don't know why I said that so weird. Where are you from, Hayley? I'm from the UK. If you couldn't tell with my accent, I am. So I guess if you're not from the UK, maybe you're from America. The UK typically has a north and a south divide and many accents in between. My accent is a southern British accent. So I'm from the south of the UK. How much attention do you pay to, I'm guessing, technical analysis? Not very much, if I'm honest. I'm very focused on spending my time researching what the company is doing, why they're doing it, and thinking about potential links and potential future opportunities. I do, however, see a lot of technical analysis stuff over on X. And, you know, I'll keep an open mind. For a very long time, I didn't really like technical analysis very much. And maybe it's just because I didn't understand it. So I'll try and understand it more, try and understand the different resistance levels and how you can use that to maybe forecast where a stock's going to move to next. But it will never replace the fundamental research and understanding for me. My ears were on just getting in the car to do some grocery go-getting. I'm no legend. You are absolutely a legend, Midwest, and that doesn't sound very fun. I hate grocery shopping, so sorry that you have to do that. Maybe buy yourself a nice snack for tonight, a nice Tuesday treat. I sold 300 at $20.50, but will buy back below 15. Yeah, this is what it seems like a lot of people are doing this, taking profit. You can't blame them. Year to date, Palantir up 188%. It kind of feels silly not to be taking profit, But like I've said, it doesn't make sense for me. But you sold at $20.50. That's pretty much the all-time high, pretty much. That's not short of the all-time high for the year. So you know what? You've timed that perfectly. Congrats. That is a pretty good timing. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't go below $18. Yeah, could absolutely happen. Let's do a Palantir European reunion. I live in Paris. Maybe one day, you know, when there's enough members on my Discord community and on the Patreon community, I might do a Patreon meetup. That might be fun. That might be fun. It's hard to keep stocks when everything I buy goes down right away. I want to value invest, but all the talk about the market crashing makes it difficult to go in at the moment. Yes, it does. I 100% agree. What you're saying comes down to the psychology of investing and your mindset, because back in 2019, beginning of 2020, basically when COVID was a real thing and the stock market was falling because of that, I stopped adding my normal dollar cost average investments into my portfolio. I stopped it. I didn't withdraw the money, but I stopped adding more money. Then everything got back to normal. Stocks started really, really going up. And I regretted it, because I could have made so much in terms of return if I just continued to dollar cost average and stick to why I was investing in the first place and not get so emotional and so concerned about what everyone else is saying like the market will do. It is hard to keep stocks and to keep buying stocks when you see them fall, but that is when the most money is made in your portfolio. If you are able to control your mind and emotion, and when everything falls, you think that actually that's an opportunity to get it at a lower price. Like, think about it. If you every single day, let's say you eat the same meal, you eat a meal made up of, let's just say steak. You eat steak every single day. One day you go to the shop and that steak is 50% reduced. Would you turn around and run out of there and say, oh my God, this steak is going to, go to zero. I'm scared. I don't want to buy it at this price. It's rubbish. Or would you buy that steak knowing that it's the same steak you eat every day and it tastes good every day, and you maybe actually buy more to put in the freezer so that your returns are better? Maybe a silly example there. But the point is, if you are buying something that you believe and you have conviction for, just see it as an opportunity. If anyone's got anything to add there, please do. The market is always crashing as well. The market is always crashing. The news always says we are going to have a crash like none that we've seen before. And sometimes it does crash, and that is even more of an opportunity to buy. If anyone wants to come and join the Patreon, by the way, please do. It's £3 a month or the equivalent in your area. I'm just thinking, like, mindset and investing. If you need a community to help you stay focused and ignore all the noise and stay committed to what you want to get, where you want to get to, that is a good place to be. Greetings from Norway. That's cool. I've never been to Norway. I've always wanted to go. It's pretty expensive though, must say. Average at 20, selling covered calls and buying shares to lower my average. I have never really been into covered calls. I am seeing a lot of people share how much money they're making. So maybe I'll do some more research and connect with the people that are making the money and see if it's all legit and what I can learn. Aldi doesn't open until 9 Eastern. Costco is. Yeah, it's pretty early for you guys. Eastern time zone right now. What time is it? 8:39 a.m. So you're 5 hours. My plan is to have 1,000 shares of Palantir under $20. That is a fantastic goal. That is really good. I just, again, we don't know what's going to happen, but I just think in 10 years time, let's just say Palantir is worth, I don't know, sticks and zeros on that. What could it be worth? And you have 1,000 shares and then you decide to sell. That's a pretty nice return. Good point here. Should also mention Palantir is closely linked to the general macro economy. Yep, S&P falls, Palantir follows as well. Absolutely. Macro comes into play, what the broader stock market is doing. In it for the long run, yep. Bad news sells. Buy the rumor, sell the news. Absolutely. Can you look at GameStop? I will note it down. I will note it down and I will add it to my list of stocks to cover on the new channel. Like I said, this channel will stay as Palantir, Tesla, and my portfolio. And on the new channel called Stock Speak, if you want to go and sub over there, I will cover many more stocks. Right, we're going to start wrapping this up in just a minute, guys. Sold a quarter of my Palantir with 100% gains at $21 2 weeks ago. Brought more SoFi with that. SoFi is another company that I'm definitely going to cover on that channel. Very interesting one. Again, incredible time in there. I wouldn't want to try and do that myself, but thank you for joining. Another amazing Patreon member here. So I appreciate you coming. Have I got my eyes on any new stocks? Yes, I have at the moment. I'll follow up with this on the Discord channel because I've got some things to say, ones that I'm looking at right now. I'm just cautious of the time. I'm going to wrap this up in a minute. And if I were to answer this question how I want to and fully, I'd be here for another 20 minutes. So I will message you on the Discord. Please check. I don't know what stock that is, but I've written it down. What is it? MSS. I have never heard of this company. Mason Solutions, MSS. I've written it down. Currently building the Woodsmith program. Okay, cool. Good timing. Yeah, some people have been selling at very good points in this in this chat. Don't spread yourself too thin, though. No, I absolutely won't. So what I'm planning to do, I'll just lay this out quickly because you've got a good point there, and I do tend to put too much pressure on myself. Monday to Friday, I'm going to go live for about half an hour to 40 minutes on this channel, like I have been. That is going to be on a variety of different topics that suit this channel, as I have been. Literally, that's not going to change. Then pretty much every day, again on this channel, I will have a video either to do with my portfolio, so like an update, Palantir or Tesla. I will continue to keep you guys up to date on those two positions. And then this new channel is going to just be videos maybe twice a week. So those are ones that I can maybe film, of an evening, maybe at the weekend. I can prep for in bulk as well because I'm not following the news. So it doesn't have to be done on the day, which is what this channel often is. So it's quite go, go, go. The new channel doesn't have to be like that, luckily. It can just be an overview on a stock that I post twice a week. So don't worry, I'm not going to be spreading myself too thin. But thank you anyway for the concern. Yep, Robinhood is absolutely another one that's on my list to cover. Getting a lot of attention right now. I don't have it myself, but I plan to dig in and have a look. Right, guys, we're going to end the live stream here. Thank you all for coming once again. It's been very fun today. We will see what Palantir does for the rest of the day. Just as a quick one, last minute update. Pre-market, $18.29. Thank you for coming to this live stream. I will have another video coming out tonight, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for joining, everyone. Bye-bye.